Dealing with tinctures, and I'm sure all of you know this, tincture will not work properly unless it's sustained in your system 100% of the time, every day. And it could be the littlest dosage, but it has to be in your system 100% of the time. And it takes at least a week to see the effects of it starting, and it is a very subtle situation that goes from, I'm walking up these stairs again and I'm not sidestepping, I don't ache. It's very subtle, but within a week you'll see a remarkable improvement if the tincture is processed properly.
I found that it's like that with a lot of oral CBD medications.
Right.
Just building it up in your bloodstream, and then you slowly
Exactly.
start to see the effects. If you have trouble sleeping at night, it's not going to knock you out. All of a sudden, it'll just be easier for you to fall asleep. Experience that.
Well, I started on Rick Simpson oil, and the only reason I don't use concentrates is because I have an autoimmune disease and it just tears me up. With anything, any little piece of candy, anything with concentrate in it. And I've even tried CO2 oils. I don't know, it's a collagenous disease, so I think it's just, I'm very sensitive to it. So I wish I could use the CBD oils because they are very effective. And I've seen them work miracles on patients. And what I find is I'm pulling a lot of CBD out of the leaf that I'm getting. And it is definitely a hybrid. It's a combination of some of the best leaf I can get, but it is definitely not a specific strain. But I am always interested in leaning towards CBD strains. So you'll see in my Canna Crunch, I'll have, at one point I had a 4.2 CBD in it. And you're going to also see in my results that my terpenes are very, very low. And that, again, is because I'm stripping all the flavor. Just the reverse, the terpenes you want to see very high in the bud that you're smelling and the robustness of it. But in medibles, it should be quite low. I got a little freaked out when my lemon truffles came back and I had the terpenes were so high I couldn't even, and I called analytical 360 on it. What? You guys are making a mistake again. I can't believe it. And they go, but it's lemon. It's got lemon. That's going to push the terpenes sky high. Yeah, the liming. So, and anyway, but typically you're going to see that the terpenes are very low. And like I was saying, for every product that you carry, I do give you one of those little turnstile displays with the most current test results, and that way your patients can take a look. I was slowed down a little bit on the labeling, so as you all know, I'm not very good at the compliancy of the labeling. But I am working on that. The gal who was working on, the one thing I did first and foremost was brand myself with the wrong company, Vistaprint. And once you start using Vistaprint, it's nearly impossible to get away and take anything that you've used that's proprietary to them. So then I started having Leah do my logo, and she got halfway through it. So I'm very close to finishing it so I can do the labeling. All of my labels will meet 502 compliancy. And the cafe just set me back a little bit on my path of getting that part of it done. So within the next month, you're going to see all of the proper labeling. I'm not going to put it in concealed packaging, not as long as I'm in the medical field. I'm going to leave it so your patients can see it, know what they're getting, and until I'm forced to put it into concealed packaging, I'll leave it in clear packaging for you. So what I'd like to do is just describe a little bit about the truffles. they kind of took over. And just go ahead and help yourself if you care to have one. You don't have to. This is the Orange Crush, and then this one is the Key Lime. And you're welcome to both. Please sample them. And how those are made is basically a recipe my granddaughter gave me. And yeah, she came over and we did them non-medicated, but I was trying to make these cake pops without the sticks, and I simply had a cake ball machine. Of course, go get the machine. And I went and got the machine, and they came out beautiful, and I'm looking at them, I'm going, that probably has approximately maybe 0.5 milligrams of THC in it. How am I going to medicate them? It's just cake. You can't get enough oil in cake to make it strong enough. So my granddaughter came over, and she's just turned 17. She said, "You're making them all wrong." So she threw a cake in the oven, and she just threw her hands into it, crumpled them all up, and I'm going, "What are you doing?" And then she got icing and threw the icing in the cake. And I thought, genius, absolute genius. Because then she would form them into a ball. Rather than having a machine do it, she was rolling the icing and the cake together, which gives it that very truffly taste and texture. But that meant that I could use my ghee butter to infuse the icing. And that's when I started realizing these are pretty potent, and you can pop one of these, as most patients realized. My bundt cakes, which were beautiful, started less being purchased in these truffles, and my whoopie pies were gorgeous but messy. And people like convenience. They want convenience, and they want single dosaging that they could pop one in their mouth, and that's basically what they do now. And if truly I'm getting, because my ghee and my olive oil are going higher rather than in the 80s, they're now in the 110s and 112s. I would say they're at least a good 150, but I am going to have them retested. Right now they're saying each one of those truffles is probably more like a 20 to 25 milligram.
I bought them for my mom one time. It was a mistake. She will not let me get her anything else now.
Because of it.
It's
Because
like,
she
it's
ate
the perfect dosing. She doesn't get too medicated.
Oh, she likes them because they're perfect.
Because they're
Yeah.
perfect. She said 20 milligrams is perfect. She tried the bonbons, 35, but people that haven't medicated, my mom hasn't medicated since she was 16.
Right.
She's like, only reason why she got into it was because I'm in it, and she's a wine man, and we come meeting in the mines, but she loves it. It's perfect for her.
Well, and that's what happened. So then all of a sudden the truffles just took off.
Yeah.
And so I now have two ladies helping me decorate and roll these truffles because I can't keep enough truffles on hand.
Beautiful.
And it was a real pleasant surprise. But the other things that you see on my menu haven't been made, but they now are going to be made for the cafe here, and I will have them available again. They just didn't stay well in the dispensaries because they always had cream cheese in them. And the cream cheese center was always infused with the ghee, but it was cranberry orange. People would love them, but after 3 days, they're not looking really good. So here I can serve them fresh. I can do them simply 2 or 3 a day, and I think that's the way I'd love to serve them. So I'll be taking the whoopie pies off and the bundt cakes, but they are very popular during the holidays. So I'll bring them back during the holidays. And you'll see the flavors of the truffles change as well. I have the summer flavors, the key lime, the lemon. During the winter, the fall and winter, you're going to see pumpkin, gingerbread.
Pumpkin, please.
Yeah, no, you're going to see all of those. So those will be changing. The Canna Crunch, which again, this is my all-time favorite. And please, just help yourself. Pass it along.
Don't touch the wasabi piece. They're all mine.
Can I maybe have that other noodle?
Yes, you
The little
can.
noodle thing?
This one, oh yes, do you have?
Sorry, I worked and I'm hungry.
You're the one it was for, I'm pretty sure.
No, I already ate one.
Well, you're having like
Better eating it, so.
Thank you.
Nope.
Awesome.
Good. So anyway, the Canna Crunch happens to be a recipe that I've had in my family probably, and I have been fixing it for, I would say, a good 30 years.
With
And
Candace?
no. It was called Dee Dee's Special Party Mix. And I made it for parties and family gatherings, and then I gave it away at Christmas time as my Christmas gifts to my family because everybody loved it so much. Once I realized I'm making the olive oil and the butter that it's infused with in the standard recipe, I just thought, oh my gosh, this is just perfect. And I was tired of going to dispensaries and seeing goldfish or what's the other one? Chex Mix. And I thought, okay, I've always made them with gourmet snacks that I get, Trader Joe's and various places. And if I can infuse it, oh, thank you, I really want some. If I can infuse it with my ghee and my olive oil, that would be wonderful. So I decided to vary the snacks like chips, things that absorb the oils and the butters quite well. And the pretzel sticks, the sesame sticks, all of the things that tend to just sop that oil and butter in. So this is made with both 50% ghee and 50% of the olive oil. So it's basically a blend of both, and 17 spices. And I think the reason it goes over so well are those spices, because I've had more success with cancer patients than any other patient. When they can't eat anything after their treatment, they can eat the Canna Crunch. And it's because of the cumin, the ginger, the cinnamon, all of the good digestive system spices.
That's fabulous.
Absolutely.
It is,
that is
and
not
that's
good.
why, and time again, they come back. I had one woman at Black Diamond come from Spokane, and she would always call me in advance, and she would order 10 boxes and take them back to Spokane. When she was out, she'd come again, and she said, it's the only thing that helps me after my treatments. And I was shocked. I really was. I was surprised by that, because first thing I thought, it's got so many spices in it. And then when I realized what the spices do for your digestive system, then I realized it is a very good, and this is what I snack on all day long. So between it and my tincture, I think it's basically all that I eat of my medibles, because I'm not a sweet eater. I mean, I would love to say I eat my brownies every night and I eat my truffles every night. Well, I can pop a truffle in my mouth and really enjoy it, but I won't sit down and eat the whole box. You put one of these in front of me and I have sat down and eaten the whole box and realized I don't remember a thing. I don't know what I was doing. They have to wake me up off my chair, and it's hard to put down. That's the only thing. So I've learned just grab a little handful, walk away, do my business, and come back later. And so that is what the Canna Crunch is. And it has been in my family for a long time, but now that it's medicated at Christmas time, I asked all my friends and family, okay, do you want it medicated or do you want it unmedicated? 80% of them said medicated. And they don't smoke, they don't do anything, they're very conservative, but they took it medicated.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
And now they said, it's really Dee Dee's special party mix. So now I'm going to just slice this brownie and talk a little bit about the brownies. And I think that'll be covered just about all the products. It's probably the most effective way to ingest cannabis. And I
use all of the plant that way.
it does. It really, your body absorbs probably 80% more than smoking. And it lasts longer. In most of my medibles, what you'll find is it will hit you and then it increases. It really peaks probably not until 2 hours later, and then you kind of cruise for a while. If you don't overeat, and that's the problem with most medibles, people do not know how to portion control. So it's very important that you find a producer who is consistent. And that is the problem with medibles these days. You do not find people who are consistent. One time it's going to knock your socks off and you're going to love it. The next time you get it, there is virtually nothing in it. So let me get some napkins. These are gooey.
I gave my mom one of these for her birthday.
The brownies?
Yeah, we're gluten free.
These are the only gluten-free items that I have. The 100% gluten-free on the brownies.
It is so good. Doesn't even do it anymore.
The gluten-free part like threw me off, and that's why I never ate them. And the first time I ate one, it like
Changed your life?
If
Yeah,
you just
sure.
like don't read that label, you'd have no idea.
yeah. I was like, nah, I don't like gluten-free, nah. And then I was like,
You know what's
I'm gonna try it.
What's so hard is like, I have a problem with over-medicating, but I have a bigger problem with overeating. And when your food is that good,
really bad.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem.
You're good.
Oh, and the fact that I ate nothing but pizza for the last
And it goes on YouTube, so.
You would think that a woman who owns a kitchen would have napkins or know where the napkins are. I go in there, I'm going, where are the napkins? So that's why I'm serving on paper towels here. But let me talk a little bit about the brownies. The brownies, as you know, are very messy. They're very chewy. They freeze exceptionally well, and when you take them out of the freezer, you can set them on a counter. What are all these little gnats in here?
Yeah, fruit flies. They
Huh?
They come out in the summer a lot.
Do
you know?
they? Yeah, they're all over the place.
They just want to get high.
They just want to get down.
I want to get high.
I killed them.
Should we like grab these so you have more room?
Yes, absolutely.
Should we grab
them?
She can join our food club. Oh man! So
Oh
where are we
my.
gonna eat after this?
No, for real. We're already talking about going.
Don't go to McDonald's.
This is only going to make you more hungry.
No.
So anyway, the brownies are 100% gluten-free, and all the toppings and everything. I've done my research to know that Hershey's is gluten-free and Reese's is gluten-free, and you can get the cookies that are like your Oreos. They're called Glutino. They're just like the Oreo cookies and those go on top of the Cookie Crunch brownies. But all the toppings, the chocolate pieces, everything that are in these are gluten-free. So the way I make them moist and not yucky like most gluten these days, it's getting much better, which I really like. But I do a lot of manipulating to make them moister by putting additional chocolate chips into the batter, and applesauce is my secret ingredient to make them moister. And
Do you still use egg?
that
It's genius.
Do you still
that-
use egg?
Yeah, and I unfortunately use one egg. So I wish there was a way to get away from the egg, because then I could probably sell a lot more to the 502. But right now in the medical, I'm still permitted to use them. So I don't know how I'm going to get away from the
I
egg.
have a recipe I'll give you afterwards for how to substitute for egg.
For egg,
For
I would
vegans.
love to do
It's a
that, because
cornstarch.
I think I could really still continue to make them just as fudgy with the same things that I'm putting in it now. But I really want to push for that, because right now that's the only thing that doesn't make me compliant. And
Well, and in special cases, like I was thinking specifically of my sister, within 20 minutes of consuming anything with the tiniest bit of egg, she's puking. Like,
Yeah.
it's a really bad allergy, but she's also gluten-free. So that would
Yeah.
be incredible for her to
Exactly.
have that kind of treat.
and a lot of people who
Exactly,
are
special cases.
and nowadays there's more and more people like that, and it's because of, I believe, all the very bad things we've ingested all of our life and had no idea, with the preservatives, the everything. So now we're getting back to, I think, the purity of things. I think that keeping my products as pure and as simple as possible, in the end, you're going to find that most patients will appreciate the fact that they're consistent. They know that they're always going to have the same dosaging, and my new labels will tell the patient the dosaging, which I do have on my website. You can always refer a patient to the website, because I do place it. It will be on the new labels, and all of the ingredients will be on the new labels too. That has been a challenge, more than I ever knew, to put all of that together for the labels. But I've done it, and now I just have to get the logo completed, and the labels will be printed next outside of Vistaprep, because they're draining me right now. But anyway, the brownies are 3 servings, and those are healthy servings. If you cut that brownie in thirds, you're going to have about 33 to 38 milligrams of THC in a third in that brownie. And again, I gauge all my medibles consistently to be 100 or above, and somewhere between 100, and used to be 130. And now the range might be going up, but I'm not going to say that until I have it retested. So you can, the truffles are 1 dose per truffle. Somebody who has a very high tolerance will eat 2 and fill it pretty nicely. The olive oil and the butter. One thing I want to talk about, and the green garlic goodness. That's one thing I haven't spoken about, which is a very nice culinary oil for people to use for cooking. But you need to know that in cooking, never exceed 375 degrees in cooking anything with cannabis, or you're going to lose all the effect of the THC. You will not lose the taste. It won't destroy what you're serving. It will just, you won't have the effect of the THC. So you'll want to tell your patients that, and I do have it on the website if they're looking how to cook with cannabis. I'll have some basic tutorials, and you just remind them not to cook. That's going to be part of the labeling too, to tell the patient don't cook in excess of 375 degrees. The green garlic goodness, which is the last product I have not spoken about, is basically my olive oil mixed with, and it's 50% of the olive oil in this. The last bottle, and I was trying to find that card before I came here, was tested out at 59. This one is 49, so it's pretty consistent with a half a bottle of the olive oil, and the value of the olive oil being 100 and over. So 50% is olive oil and 50% is balsamic vinegar, white wine vinegar, Italian herbs, whole herbs, fresh herbs. You'll see sprigs sticking up through
It's
them.
so gorgeous.
And then whole garlic. And if you saw Northwest Leaf last issue, I'm in it 4 times. The products are there in the dessert section. I have a picture of that magazine up on the cabinet, but the truffles are shown, and then the green garlic goodness was used, and it's in a beaker, and you can tell it's got the little oregano leaf coming up. And then it was used, that and the ghee was used in 4 of their recipes that they cooked with. So this was an idea I came up with because I wanted a salad dressing, and I made it as a salad dressing and loved it because it's got everything I love in a salad dressing, and a lot of garlic, which I love. And one day I decided, well, I wonder if I could use this. It's got a lot of oil. I wonder if I could use this as a marinade. And I put it on some chicken breast and baked it slowly at 350 in the oven. And it was delicious. It was delicious. It bakes it down into more of a glaze onto the chicken. So of course I thought asparagus, because I love asparagus. I drizzle it on the asparagus and I put it under the broiler. And that just makes a glaze on the asparagus. You might sprinkle a little bit of sesame seed on it and serve the asparagus that way. So there's a lot of things. It's in the pasta salad. A lot of things you can do with it. You're saying you already fill it. So, do you guys have any questions?
With your oils, is it activated, as in if they throw it in a pan and they heat it too much, is it going to activate it more?
No. The only thing they might do is destroy the THC.
Okay.
So I say saute, not fry.
Not fry.
You don't want to fry with that oil at all. And I would be careful in barbecuing. What I've done, because I can't gauge, you can put a temperature thing in and it's not going to show that it's over
The flame right on the
yeah, but the flame right on it may. So what I do, like with a nice steak, and I did this for the garlic bread that I make, is go to Fred Meyer. Everything, I'm like the Sandra Lee of cooking with cannabis. If you can find something that is delicious and make it better with making it your own, I'm all for it. So I get a tub of the garlic butter that you get in Fred Meyer, QFC, whatever. I take a tablespoon of my ghee butter and I put in the garlic butter, as well as whole garlic, crushed garlic, because I like it really garlicky. And then for steaks, I take a dollop of that and just put it on after the steak is cooked. So it's just melting on that steak.
While
When-
it rests.
Yes. And then the other thing I do is I spread that garlic on bread. And if you bring the broiler up close enough to the broiling element, you can do it at 350 and it toasts it very nicely. So that's another thing you can do
Macaroni and
with
cheese.
the ghee.
Twice baked potatoes.
Macaroni and frickin' cheese.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Fried mac and cheese with the. Oh man.
So what I tell everybody is if you have a good base product, you can do anything. Absolutely anything.
The first time I ever tried any edible.
Because it's going to taste just like what you're cooking. Just be careful with the heat and temperature on it. And you can pretty much do anything with it.
I'm so excited. I'm so inspired right now.
I know, I am too. I'm like mind blown. I want to go home and do food.
Yeah, and that's why I'm hoping that having some of the video, I'm just going to do like a little series of quick little tutorials. Maybe I'll become the
Make a
new
cookbook.
YouTube sensation
You can
of the
do
makeup, the little
channel.
makeup girls, you know,
Yeah.
the YouTube sensations. Maybe I'll become.
After 15,000 views, you get 15 cents a view.
Are you serious?
I am not
maybe
even
that's
joking
my
you.
new.
I feel like
So that's how they all get so
I have
rich?
That's how they
YouTube
make
videos.
money.
That's how they make
Definitely
money. I
has
knew
more
that.
YouTube
But it like goes into an
Absolutely.
account on YouTube, so it's
That's
like
insane.
I think it's
I don't really know how it
just used to
works.
your
It's not like you get a check in the mail. It's like
No,
Eventually, they'll
you
pay
get the
for
money
ads
though.
on
It's
your
there.
page too.
Yeah, it's
But
there. You just have to,
honestly,
like,
I think
you
you
have
could
to-
do that because you're doing something that could fit into anybody's life, and you're doing something that is credible in the medical world, and it
Nobody
is,
else is doing it.
it's fabulous. It's
That
fabulous.
is one of the
Yeah,
things
for
that,
sure.
the only reason I'm in this business. It is the only reason I'm in this business. I was retired already 6 years. And I worked my entire career in the medical profession for 40 years. So there was no reason to come back to work. I was having fun riding my motorcycle. But this just grabbed me. It took me by surprise. And all I could think of was how much it helped me. Who you see in front of you today is not who I was 2.5 years ago. I couldn't walk. I had had spinal surgery. I couldn't walk up a step. And in my mind, it not only is the miracle drug of our current times, always has been, and there were many people who knew it, but I think it's the new fountain of youth. I truly do.
Or perhaps
And-
the restored fountain of youth. This is a plant that we have been in a symbiotic relationship with for centuries.
Absolutely. And God put it on this earth for us to use it. So we haven't even tapped the surface of what we can do and how many people we can help. And I only knew if it helped me, it had to help others because I'm walking proof. So it's not like a pie in the sky. It is a true miracle. And as far as I'm concerned, we haven't even tapped the surface of what it will do. Now that it's helping children with epilepsy and it's helping my generation is where I think you guys really need to tap because not only do most of the people in my generation have the money to purchase products, they're in need of them so bad they don't even know it.
Yeah.
They don't even know it. And unless they can talk to somebody who's highly knowledgeable about it, it's very difficult to convince somebody who's been,
Living with it for so long.
well, yeah, I mean,
Shocked through
they have. They've been so pushed against marijuana for so many years that to even think about using it wouldn't come to mind. But the minute somebody knows that it helps them, they're all over it. They want it and they can't have enough of it. And maybe it's my goal in life just to put that message out to most of the people who are my age and let them hear it from somebody who they can relate to, because it's difficult, I know. I didn't have trouble. I went right into Fremont and I asked my questions and got good answers. But if people my age are intimidated and they feel like they can't go in and ask all the questions that they want, your job is just to really make them feel at ease and let them know and reassure them that you have a mother or you have a grandmother that is getting help or benefits from it, you know? And because really, you guys are the ones who are going to push this into the future. You really are. And I never thought I'd see it in my lifetime. I'm just glad that I did and I could be a part of it for some small time or period of time.
We're glad you're a part of it too.
Yeah, well, thanks.
My taste buds were very happy today. Part of it.
Thank you. Well, any other questions? Anything else that I can do to clear any questions you have? And I do apologize about the lack of labeling to help you out, and I hope that talking about the products is helping you. In the next month, you'll see all of the compliant labels coming out with a marijuana leaf and a really tilted, kind of cockeyed Canna Chef in the middle of it, or Canna Chef hat in the middle of it. So you won't be able to miss it, the Canna Chef. So.
Very cute.
And the lotus leaf will go away.
Okay.
Well, this has been fun, and I
Well, thank you,
appreciate
Dee Dee.
you guys having me.
That's great.